are live, coming to you from the dirty South, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. We're getting a little bit of a winter blast here in the southeast. I guess all the way up. We got a little snow here, down here. Thank you, Brian. What's up tonight? I know I talked to my dad tonight. We didn't record. I don't know if we're going to have a show this weekend or not. My dad is fighting the flu, and he had to be taken to the hospital Thursday night with severe dehydration. It's going to be 79 Tuesday, so he's not a young buck anymore, hitting kind of hard. But he seems to be doing all right. He's just very tired and very congested. Very congested. What's up, Jeff? How you doing? James, how you doing? Joe, I did end up winning some of those Star Wars cards. Can't wait to get those. Thank you for letting me know about that. Hitman, what is up? Yeah, Joe let me know about some Swedish Star Wars cards. So snag those. What's up, Steven? Dom, are y'all gonna be doing like a are y'all going to be doing a show for this year's lineup for the Hall of Fame, or have you already done that? Did I miss it? I need to go back and see it. I know we got some no-brainers this year. Oh man, all kinds of people. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Jeff, thank you. What's up, Chris? Man, got all kinds of heavy hitters in here tonight. On this stage here tonight, a little throwback to my 90s rap. Yeah, just this week, crazy. I want to touch on some things, some videos this week. In the past week, Three Rivers, what's up? Natsman seems to be doing good. New job, new Natsman. I'm gonna have to get him on here just for everybody to say hi. I know he's really slowed down in the hobby. He'll watch. I haven't talked to him here in a while. I got the cards over here that I need to get to him. But he stays busy with his new job. I think he really likes it. I met some of his coworkers. Oh, woo! Wait a minute. Wait. I know our team's played today, and he's coming on here to let me know about it probably. We got the Hitman 23 in the house. My brother,
Big Scott.
What is up, man?
How are you, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm actually really enjoying watching the Redskins play this year. I've said it over and over. Love that quarterback. I just love him.
It has been a long time coming, man. Like it's actually like it's got me a little more excited now. I'm getting back into it a little bit more.
You know, I grew up in my dad's a diehard, and
oh, is he?
Yeah, I broke his heart by going to but yeah, I told him. My mom even asked, him, and they've been divorced a long time, and I told her I was watching a Redskins game one day. She said, "Are you a Redskins fan?" I said, "No, I just like watching their quarterback. He's really fun to watch.
He's definitely fun to watch. I just picked up his rookie card the other day, so I was like,
nice. Yeah, I definitely want to get him. Here's the 3 quarterbacks this year I want to pick up just to have their rookies. Him, Bo, and the kid in Chicago."
What's his name? Field? No.
Field. I can't think of it. Somebody else.
I know. I'm so bad. Like the new players, man. I don't know them. I don't know them like I used to know them, and it's like sad.
How are you feeling, Hitman? I know you.
I just got over pneumonia, so I would say I'm 99% back. So I'm feeling much better than I did.
Caleb Williams. Caleb, I do.
Say again.
It's Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling much better. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, good. Yeah, because you were coughing a little bit on that one, and We
Yeah.
thought about it. My dad's and my wife's just getting over. I mean, his wife is just getting over. My dad is now, he fainted Thursday night and had to be taken to the hospital and given some liquids. And
man. Dehydration in the older crowd is not a good mix.
yeah, he'll be 79 Tuesday, but he thinks he's 29. So
God bless him, man.
Dom, Jake and I are scheduling the recording episode coming soon. The election is being announced the 21st, so there's still plenty of time. Right. Yeah. I'm very interested. We know Ichiro is going to be a first ballot.
Oh, yeah. If he's not unanimous, then there's something wrong. I mean, really.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, somebody voted against Babe. So
I know. I just, yeah. No, I know.
So, man, it's just so, man, I'm glad you're on because I almost recorded my room video tonight. Yeah, and I see the shelves behind you. I have 3 up now. They are secure.
It's coming, brother.
They've stayed after I talked to you about it.
Yeah.
Dom doesn't think he'll be unanimous. Well, it doesn't matter as long as they get in.
I know. It's just like one of those things. Like, how are they not? I know. Yeah. If he gets in, he gets in.
Right. So like, I keep teasing it, but hopefully I don't have to work 9,000 hours this week like I've been doing.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, Mike, how are you feeling? I know you sounded like you were in a football game without pads last time I talked to you.
Me?
No, Mike O.
Oh, I was like,
yeah, because he did a show last week. He was talking about everything hurting him. He sounded like he got in a car wreck. And I was just wondering,
why did my phone flip? Why did it do that?
I thought you hit something.
No, it does this. I don't understand why. Now I have to go like this. No, I'm upside down. Should I do that?
Oh, you sick terror.
Only Mike. Me, man. Only me. I swear to God. Hold on. Yeah. I'm like the freaking.
So we got Amari in the house. What is up? Mike O. Chronic exhaustion, but at least I'm not sideways upside down like you. Yeah. And Mike, I sent the invite to our group, so if you feel like it, you can. If not, understand. Just show all your sideways cards. Like, yeah. I don't know if he's frozen now. We'll wait and see. Give him a moment or two, but yeah. So this week I had a lot of cards to show on Wednesday. I finally showed off the camo card from the debut 2019 Pete Alonso. I'm still looking at the Pete's. I don't know what's going to go with him. Like I said, looking to pick up a couple of YouTube blocked it, man, due to the risk. Yeah. How dare you? Let's see. He's trying to come back.
There we go. I don't have
Mike O said that he blocked you because you had your Redskins t-shirt on.
I know, seriously. Like, get this bum out of here.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to, now that more product is coming out, like I saw you showed the Don Ross, like that's my problem with football product. It's been that problem since Panini took it over. I don't know what's the key rookie card.
It's so crazy.
Right. Is it select? Is it donors? Is it,
I don't do a ton of football, right? I don't buy.
Right. Me neither.
I would guess the base one would be Donruss, and I guess the Prism, I guess, would be like the next one, or Select. Yeah. Those are the two. Those are the three. Like and somebody please tell me if I'm wrong, but those are the three I think of.
Yeah, I know, like, I know in the for football and basketball in the big boy world, the NT, the flawless, the with the relic auto.
Yep.
But I'm not like I just want the base rookie card. Get
Yep.
it slabbed
And
and
that's what
throw
I
it in my
got. So,
collection.
yep.
So, I like to have key rookies in different sports,
Sure.
Now that I've jumped into, the WNBA world, I'm just looking for some key rookies in that. And just having more, it just opens up my eyes to more fun. I mean, you
Yeah,
like me,
100%.
we collect. We don't narrow yourself into these little pigeonholes.
Nah, dude, I love it all. I love
Right,
it all.
right. Yeah, that's we were in our group talking, and I
Yeah.
like I said before you jumped on, I want to speak on some of the I would like to see more top 25 cards that mean the most to me in my collection.
Right. Not based on value.
Right. And I don't have a problem with value. Some of them are not, because I get to see nice cards and cards that
Sure.
won't
Yeah. No, I mean,
be
seeing
in my
cards is seeing
collection.
cards, but
But Orlando, he'll make his appearance. Listening to him talk and give even Mangini, when he talks and Rick, and they talk about their cards, you're going to get an education. Bonus 53.
100%.
But some of it, when you start seeing these all the time, you get kind of okay, but why did you buy it? What made you buy it? What's the story behind it? Especially guys you never I keep harping on it. I know they're history guys, but what made you pick that card?
Yep.
Why did you spend the money to buy it? Or how'd you come across it or whatever? That's what more of what I want. The passion.
The passion, exactly. The history behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think in my my history of YouTube in terms of my videos. I might have done one or two in my past, and I try to do like cards I think that look great. That's it. And again, it could be it could be this card right here, right, for whatever. And that's how I look at top 25, like my favorite cards, my coolest looking cards, or something like that.
Right.
But I try to stay off the wave. I kind of like I play on the outsides. I kind of play on the outside of the waves or on the sides. I don't know. It's just more fun for me that way.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I'm doing everything everybody else is doing over and over again, I'm like, why are you gonna watch my channel? I don't know. Like, I mean, you may not watch my channel anyway, whatever. But like, I don't want to just fall in line with everything else everybody else is doing. I want to try to differentiate myself a little bit.
About 4 years ago, I did a clickbaity one where I did my most value cards, and I put valued, and that's one of my most viewed ones.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, but I had cards, and I talked about why these are my favorite cards in my collection, right?
Yes.
So I didn't talk about value or anything, but why I had them, and I kind of felt I didn't feel bad, but I kind of felt slimy for doing it. But I was making a point, right?
Yeah.
So Random Esports, which I love that name. I don't know why. Random Esports. No one wants to be the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like if something works, it's just like anything in life. We see it in sports. It's a copycat leagues.
Absolutely.
If it works, it works. If you enjoy that content, you're going to make that content. And I'm not saying not to make that content, but I've been thinking about doing I want to get back to my Saturday ones where it's more personal, where I do a little bit more with the collection I already have, and that's something I might have in the future, showing off stuff. Something like that. I know this answer, but I'm going to let you answer. This is a great question. And it's a great answer. Mike, why and how did you become a Redskin fan?
Oh, great question. I'll be glad to share that story. So when I was young in the late 70s, early 80s, I lived in Pennsylvania.
I can believe
and of course, I like the Eagles. All right. Then they go to the Super Bowl, 1980? I guess it was 80. They went to the Super Bowl and they lost, and they pissed me off. I was so mad. And then, I'm 10 years old, 11 years old. I'm at my friend's house one day, and he's got this toy box. And in the toy box, at the bottom of it was a Redskins helmet, one of those old, toy ones. And I don't know what it did. It just was like, oh, that is so cool. And then, I just kind of started from there based on what they look like. I mean, it's such a juvenile thing to say, but that's
Right.
what it was, right?
Well, yeah.
And then they 82, 83, they started getting good. And I watched them play against the Eagles. I don't know, something sucked me into them. And then went to the Super Bowl against the Dolphins. And that was it, man. It just sucked me right in. And from that time forward, that was it. I was a diehard Redskins fan.
Yeah.
Ever since then. It's just been, and then was really cool. The whole, the really, the cherry on top of the cake was in 1984, my dad got transferred from Philly down to DC. So I literally got to live down in DC during their heyday.
That's awesome.
And it was so fantastic. You'd see players out and about. You'd be out in the store, you see a player. My next door neighbor was on the offensive line. I mean, it was such a great experience to have. And got to go to Redskin Park, and I was at the Joe Theismann break a leg game. Unfortunately, I was at that game, but just to be in that atmosphere, Scott, I can't remember anything sports related except maybe with the Yankees when they were, in the early 90s and stuff. The city just gets so involved in the whole,
right.
I mean, forget the city, Northern Virginia, Maryland. This is, of course, before the Ravens were there. So everybody was involved. It was Dallas week, it's Dallas week, right?
That's right.
And it was so special. And that stadium was just insane. I've never seen a stadium like that in my life, in a live environment. It was just crazy.
Yeah. So the Broken Lake, that was RFK. That was right in downtown.
Yep.
That was kind of where it was at. Was kind of an easy stadium to get to, but
it was you had to
park offside.
It was right off of the I think it was right off of 295. It was in the north side of DC.
Yeah, they actually had an off ramp that went right into the parking lot.
I think it was the Baltimore Washington Park or whatever that road is, the Baltimore Washington Expressway or whatever, came right into it. You kind of drove right into it if you're coming in from the north, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So Joe, Doctor of Exclusive, who was one of our roommates,
Joe.
He wants your take on Soto leaving the Yankees to the Mets.
You know what? I mean, at first I was kind of stung by it, but now I've gotten over it. Honestly, I've gotten over it. What am I going to do? It's fine. I mean, I can't cry my cereal. I'm not.
I think y'all got more out of the deal than I think. I think his camera times out. I think he's got a timer on it. Or his phone non-active and it blacks out. I'm with you, Dom. Yeah. As much as I love
there we go.
Is your phone timing out?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Go ahead with what you were saying. Can you hear me? He's that hurt by it. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear myself.
You can't hear?
My son was just trying to call me. I'm like, stop.
Oh, okay.
Hold on again.
Yeah, that was funny. Like Don said, hit CM Bellinger. They actually picked up some pitching.
I'll come back on.
Okay. The Mets have done nothing else other than they re-signed Manea. They got some home cooking on that one and some minor leaguers. So they need more than that. They did pick up a left-hander for the bullpen, which they desperately needed. But they need an eighth inning guy. They need one. I think Soto's more of a two-hitter. So they need another bat in the middle of the lineup. So they got to re-sign Alonso or pick up, find somebody, even if it's Turner for Justin Turner for a year.
Hi again. Never let that punk hitman on their live again.
I think the Yankees they probably got the best starting staff right now in baseball.
Yeah, yeah, they got. I'm pretty happy with their staff. Like I was going to say before, as my son called, you know,
yeah,
put all that money into one player, and they didn't win the World Series with him. So,
right.
And I don't hate Juan Soto. Hey, good for him, man. Good for him. But I like they were able to pick up some players. I think they're going to be, do a nice job. I mean, I think they're still one guy short. I was almost hoping they would trade. I was hoping they would maybe make a trade for would be Ketel Marte, but I don't think that's. I don't think that's even a possibility. But we'll see what happens with second, third. I guess.
After them getting Corbin Burns, I think the Diamondbacks are in it to win it.
Oh no, for sure. They're like
that front three pitchers.
Is Sasaki going to wind up in LA too? That guy from
I don't know. That's the one. I think that's what the Mets are trying to get. Cubs.
Anybody but LA, man.
Somebody is saying that Padres are a possibility. I don't know if LA's can get him.
Let me ask you this question. Why do you think other teams are not doing what the Dodgers are doing with the deferments?
A lot. So a lot of players don't want it.
Okay.
Because they want the money now.
Okay.
Makes sense. In LA, it makes sense because the way the tax is set up. Yeah. But it also for Soto for Ohtani and Yamamoto, they're making so much Japanese money.
Oh,
they got so many. Their faces are on everything.
Yeah.
And they're making their money off of that. They can defer.
I didn't think about that. But yeah.
But Bobby Bowe, he's still getting his paycheck every year from
2035, I think.
Yeah. So and they wanted to pay him off, and he said no.
Interesting.
They were going to give him one lump sum and with extra, and he said no.
Because he get hit hard, the taxes would kill him.
Right. And but that's Soto said he didn't want to do that, and I think his I think Boris doesn't like that. So you got to remember who's the guy driving the train too.
Yeah, Mr. Boris.
Let's see. Anyone think the Lions are going to win tonight against the Vikings? It could. That's one of those. One could be 5 and 5 will be 1. Ain't that the way it's going to be tonight? Whoever wins the division. Whoever loses gets to 5th place. It have like a 14-game winning, something crazy. Bobby B Day. What's up, Stuke? Only the big endorsement guys will defer. Yeah, and it makes sense. Me and my dad talked about on one of our shows. Deferring makes sense because how much money do you need to live off of? Like
right.
Soto made $84 million when he signed his name. So I don't know why he didn't defer a little bit, make it. But I think there's some options in there somewhere.
There was definitely some options in the contract. I mean, he has a few. I think he has a few opt-outs in there, doesn't he, or something? Or I don't know.
Bobby Bowe, July 1st. I love Phillips that he was the GM for the Mets that made that deal with him, and he's got to hear about it every year.
Oh my God! Seriously,
I love it. I love when I've never seen a photo do that, but that's kind of funny. The National League West has 3 of the best 5 rotations in baseball. Still, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Burns. You're not wrong, and it could get stiffer. Soto had a pot belly on signing day. Yeah, but he'll be in shape. I am not worried about Soto. Hope I could watch Power Outage here, watching on battery powder. Oh, sorry, but Yeah. Hey, Stu, is it real windy and cold, or you get snow? You'll let anyone in on the show. What's up, man, Genie?
I know, seriously, right?
If I won the Powerball, I could defer some and buy some of Mangini's cards. That's true. I don't know if Mangini will come off of it though. I like the unis for Detroit tonight. But yeah. So and to get back to what we were talking about, Chris said it's easier for Missouri, says it's easier for him to get his 50 most valuable than favorite. Yeah, it's like picking your favorite child. I understand that. You're always going to have some left out and all, but I think my point was more to just the stories. And I understand, and I love looking at those because again, there's cards I'll never possess, that I can look at and go, man, that's a cool card. It just always love looking at cards no matter what. And, that's just how it is for me. And like I said, hopefully, let's see, remove this one, add this one.
Third time charm?
I think this is the fourth, but who's counting? Wendy Golden going to the FCS Championship in Frisco, Texas tomorrow night at 30 degrees. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you're going to the North Dakota State, Montana game. Nice. That's tomorrow night. I'm have to watch that.
Nice. Is the Detroit game an 8:00 game tonight?
It just started. Just kicked off when I brought it. Both teams are 14-2.
Crazy.
The winner is the number one seed at 15-2, and a loser will be the 5th seed at 14-3.
Did you imagine that? The 5th seed at 14-3? Wow.
Well, the only thing better than that was the year that the Seahawks hosted a playoff game and they had a losing record, but they won.
I remember that.
And they won. They won and hosted a second game.
Yeah.
And almost won that way.
Yeah.
I mean, football is crazy because I was afraid of that when they first extended the baseball, that somebody was going to get in with a losing record. And I was, because I kind of want them to do away with the divisions. Everybody's playing each other, have 2 American League, National League, take the top 6 teams. I looked at the last 2 years. If you would have done that, it would have been the same teams.
Yeah.
Who cares if you won the National League East? What does that mean?
Right.
So that's kind of that's old. That's going back to the old school. They only used to have 2 leagues.
I know.
So
the 2 winners went to the World Series. That was it.
That's it. Yeah. Is this the preview of the NFC Championship game, or it cannot be? It could be, but what sucks is the 5th place team has to play on the road. So they're going to play on the road the first game. And then then they'll have to play on the road the second game. The only time they can play at home, as long as they're playing another wild card team with a lower seed at the end.
Right.
And it's about seeding. And it was the same way in the college football seeding. We had explained to somebody why Alabama wasn't in with the 11th seed. He's like, well, they should have been in. And I was like, no, because conference champions didn't have a seed higher, so they were out. They're the odd man out. So that's how it works. So, which makes me laugh because I don't like Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm worried every year. All I get to say is that this year's NFL rookie class might be the best from the offensive standpoint. The best since when? Because I would have to say the year that Cam Newton and all them came in, that was pretty stacked. I've seen some stacked offense rookies here in the last first year. A 14-win team will not win its division with the Packers have 11 wins in the same division. Crazy stuff. Yep. Bo Nix looked good. Yeah, Penix Jr. The only reason Penix had to sit the bench is because how much they were paying Kirk Cousins in Atlanta. They didn't know Penix was going to fall to them. What's up, Orlando? You must have heard us talking about you a little earlier. I think Penix is another one that I might have to pick up because I'm a Penix. I almost said a Penix believer, but a Penix, I'm a Penix believer.
This ain't that kind of show, Scott.
Yeah. So there you have it. So, okay, man, first 30 minutes flew by. I was like, I don't know how long I'm going to be on tonight. But the next thing I want to talk about and just briefly touch on again is some first of the year, flipping the calendar. Man, the excitement for card shows. Yeah, right. The excitement for card shows right now seems to be people excited. I don't know about buying the cards, but at least going. And it's not the national, it's your local bigger like Dallas. You hear Chantilly talk, Philly talk. I hear you guys down there going to Tampa shows or area shows. It's the bigger area shows are sounding like that's where the hype is this year. Yeah. The other show in Ohio, Strongsville. That's taken. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is you've been hearing grumblings about people can't get hotel rooms.
Yeah.
You can't get an Airbnb 45 minutes away. You can't get, and the reasons why Chicago is so great is being taken away.
Yep.
Getting peeled away. And if all these people, the hobby is very strong, Orlando. Hodges. Brian talked about it on his one of his last ones. I was watching him about going to Strongsville. I would like to go. I don't know if it's in the cards for me this year. I just got too many other. I'm going to Philly. I promised Ed I'm going to Philly first. I'm going to Philly first. But everybody, it just seems like, and I love it that these shows, we got bigger ones down here, Hickory, Salisbury, these bigger shows, Raleigh, they're no longer your 20 table in a mall show or at the American Legion. It seemed like even your local shows are now 130 tables in a bigger place and are just wedged into a hotel. Man, it just seems like it's taking off. I mean, have you been hearing getting the same feel on that, or?
I just saw. I didn't go this past weekend. The first weekend of every month, there's a show in Fort Lauderdale. I didn't get to go this month because next weekend in Naples, the first card show in 30 years in Naples is happening next weekend. And it's not a huge. I think it's about. I talked to the promoter. I think he said it's about 50 tables. He does a bigger show in Fort Myers, about 75, 80 tables. He's going to start to see with 50 and see how it goes. But the Fort Lauderdale show, and I think if Orlando is on, he can corroborate this. The promoter of the Fort Lauderdale show said his show this past weekend was like maybe his best ever, and he said it was busy, and that place is tight. I mean, the Fort Lauderdale show is a tight little room,
right?
But he gets, it's a lot of good mix there. He gets a little bit of everything. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to go this weekend. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking out in Florida, dude. There's shows popping up everywhere.
Right. We had two more promoters come out of nowhere last year. The one that's doing the one in the ball fields is it's more TCG-ish, and but the other guy, he's setting up in Salisbury and one other place, and that one seems pretty legit. But again, a lot of TCG and toys. There's a lot of toy shows down here. Toys are really big in this area.
Yep.
So especially like wrestling figures and Hot Wheels and all that stuff's really, really big. And that's the fun thing. You've lived in different parts of the country.
Yep.
You move around, you'll see I went to the Midwest. Football was king forever. Then it was basketball. Now I don't, I'm not there now, so I don't know what's really going on there. But, I I come here and it's baseball and wrestling. Wrestling is king here. So you
Wrestling
get
is huge in Florida. Huge.
yeah.
Huge.
So I mean, I can go to a wrestling show every weekend and see some old wrestler
Yep.
that you know about every weekend.
Yep.
Somewhere. So
yep, for sure. There's a lot of independents down here in Florida. A lot of indies. A lot.
Yeah, Pokemon is huge. I mean, that's why it's at all the shows right now. Pokemon, Magic the Gathering is really making a run now at that because everybody once something gets huge, people get priced out. What's the next thing?
Yeah.
So and right now I think it's for TCG. Pokemon is so big, and I think everybody's got had such a fill of it. Now, what's the next thing? James, NASCAR down here is I'm in Winston-Salem. The Winston Cup was named for Winston-Salem. So NASCAR. That's you go to a show, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking. Hey, what's up, Card Cutter? I think I'm looking at some future tag team champs. That's right. We're gonna bring back Earthquake and Shake or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Or Demolition or something.
Oh,
One of
yeah,
those big boy tag teams.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that down here, it's just fun to go out and see all the different because I love it. I have another channel where I collect toys and video games and stuff. So it's my world. It's fun. I go to the card room and I walk around, see what else there, and then I go to the toys. But I
was going to have a card room and then a toy room and then
there is two. When you go to a show at Hickory, there's two huge. It's basically two shows.
Wow.
A toy show and then a card show.
Wow.
And I mean they're huge. And what's good is at the toy shows where all the TCG is. So when you go in the card room, it's all sports cards and all the other stuff's over in the toy. So it's really nice. I like that setup. And the Boogie Woogie Man's always there signing autographs.
Oh, really?
Every
Is he eating worms?
That Boogie Woogie Man. Yeah, it's somebody. Who else is always? I can't think. It's Boogie Woogie and somebody. Oh, some manager. I don't know him. I had to look him up, and I think he's from like the old WCCW days.
Way back, huh?
Yeah, and I wasn't too familiar with him, so yeah. So that's what. But going back to the national, you're hearing all this stuff, and everybody's excited about all your other shows. I'm not worried. I don't care what people really do. You have to have fun and you have to do what's best for yourself, right?
Sure.
But I'm feeling like this national could be the last one where people buy into it and go. And then, man, I have to stay an hour away. Is it worth it?
That's a big factor. I mean, that's a huge factor. You're talking now. Yeah. Yep.
Or I'm only going to go for 1 day or 2 days,
right?
Because I can only get, rooms. I could get a room for Thursday or Friday, but I can't get a room for that whole block.
Right.
I think I'm sitting here and I've asked that man, Jeannie. I've asked this question since 2018, before the pandemic. You can go back and look at my old channel, my old stuff. What's bit too big?
Yeah.
What's up, Authentic Sports Card Dad? Let's see how quickly people forget 2020. Yeah. But I don't want to use the word worried. I want to use, I'm eager to see, because first we opened up the carpet area in the back. Then we opened up the next room, and then we opened up the third room. Now we're opening upstairs. So all the vendors got all the best rooms. We know who got the rooms. Yeah. So the vendors got all the rooms. I just they added more dealers. So Hitman got a call. But anyway, that's my other question is like, you know, I love seeing everybody there, and I'm not. I don't know if everybody's going to put up with it. At Cleveland, you expect that, but at Chicago, the whole deal to go to Chicago is to have that. You good? Is to have that, and I don't know. Last year we stayed just far enough where we couldn't walk. It was just a little bit too far to walk. But I had a car, so I just shuttled, and people Ubered and stuff like that. And let's be real, Chicago. If you want to go get food from somewhere, you still got to leave that area unless you want to eat at a more like touristy spot. But I digress. This show's not like the national. I just wanted to bring up tonight. I've heard grumbles about people can't find spots. We found ours the week that we left the last national. We started looking. Three straight years at Chicago for the showrunners to figure everything out. You're right, Dom. And here's the other thing. So nobody can get rooms close. And what do? You can only get parking on a super, super fantastic VIP pass, right? I got a VIP pass and I don't have free parking. So that's the thing that I'm like, I don't know if people are going to put up with all this stuff, higher prices, more people. Friday and Saturday. I think Friday, I might be leaving early to go catch a WNBA game Friday night, and it could be authentic. So I don't know who all's going, but I know me and Ed have talked about it, going to a WNBA game on Friday night. Or it's Friday at 6:30. We'd be back for the festivities after that. But Chicago's playing Golden State, so we get to see Martin girl from Iowa play, and Angel Reese build a house on the backboard with all the bricks. But there's things to do in Chicago outside of the show. There's things to do in Cleveland outside the show. There everywhere you go, there's going to be Atlantic City. There's things to do, like jog on the beach barefooted, as just to see if you can dodge all the needles. You can do fun things like that in New Jersey. But that's my only question, and we'll talk more about that when I'll do my road to the national. But that was just food for thought when I was hearing people talking about it. So the big names that like to do things at the national, baseball collector, our everybody's friend Eric on those back pages. Eric is the unsung head commander of the whole show. He's the what is the front guy in the parade?
The master.
That's Eric, and Mike likes to do his stuff, and they're cracking down on certain things, on how people can get tickets and all this stuff. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait, as usual, to go hang out with my buds, and we might even pick up a card or two. And I'm sure pizza's in our future, and I know chicken is. So
Raising
we have to take Hitman to he's never been to the chicken place, so we got to take him.
Who's never been?
You've never been to the Shack Chicken place, have you?
Oh, we don't have.
Huh?
Sorry. Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that a Chicago thing?
No, it's in Vegas. They got one in Philly, but it's not near where Mike and them live.
Gotcha.
It's all over. It's a Shaquille O'Neal chain, and they're just getting out there. They're just not in a lot of places. It's Big Chicken, and we were making fun of it, and we went there and ate, and we were like, "Oh God, this is good," because it was right next to where we were staying.
Oh, dude.
And I kept calling it Big Effing Chicken. So and it's Shaq's place, so that's why it's Big Chicken.
Big Chicken. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's good. But that's we'll talk. Like I said, we'll talk more about that. I wanted to get into like things I'm looking forward to in 2025. I'm looking forward to new baseball
yeah.
flagship every year.
Tops look like? I haven't seen anything
I
where it
haven't
looks like.
They haven't named the number one card. They haven't shown the cover boy. They haven't
Dude,
shown a card.
like what? 6 weeks away?
At least, yeah.
I've seen it this late, where I usually it's like months ahead of time where they show at least a mock up of it.
And what's his face usually has a good article on it, and Beckett talking, about all the inserts.
Yeah.
And it's been off. I this stuff where the pandemic stuff. My buddy Eric on Sanderson to Orr the other night on Carlos's channel, he said, I don't want to hear about backups for pandemic stuff anymore.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to hear that crap.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, let's get this stuff straight. Get it back on the schedule. Because he's a hockey collector, and this stuff is, Upper Deck is so behind. It's pathetic.
I'm waiting for Heritage High Number hasn't come out. I don't think. I haven't seen it.
It hasn't. Now, Heritage High Number, and who knows? It might come out at the same time as Heritage Low Number this year. I don't know. It's really ridiculous. I don't, but also I'm looking forward to, I want to see how I handle personally. I'm interested to see how I handle Pete Alonso playing for another team.
You think that's going to happen? You think that's going to happen?
Yes, because I think he's going to go to the Giants. If I had to,
okay.
I have a feeling he's going to be a Giant. And that West is just going to be so loaded. The Giants have the money. They need another bat desperately, and I think that's where he's going to end up.
Wow.
And Ventos is going to go to third, and we might end up with Alex Bregman.
You mean Ventos will go to first, and then Bregman
Ventos
third?
goes to first, Alex Bregman at third. Or they don't do that. They stay in-house, and Ronnie goes to second. Ronnie Mauricio as a rookie, and Paul McNeil goes to third.
First.
Pete Alonso to the Giants was my prediction before the offseason started. Seeing how everything went, think he'll be back with the Mets. The only reason why I don't is because the Mets don't want to give him the years, and I think the Giants might break down and give him the years. Boris is waiting for one of these teams to break down and give him the years and the money. Listen, he'll look pretty good. Yeah, I think so too, but I don't know where he could play second and they get rid of McNeil. I've heard that too. Don't give up the ship, Scott. I think Pete could come back. Acuna playing well in Venezuela. Yeah, he'll fight for a job too. Yeah, I think do I want Pete back 100%? I love Pete Alonso. I mean, not right now, the way I have done my Detroit's up 7-0. The way I've done my PC, Pete Alonso is probably like 30% of my PC.
Wow.
And like I said, I like him. I'm going to like him wherever he goes. But collecting him will be, I don't have all the hobby money in the world, so I'll probably go back to collecting his Mets, looking at more David Wright stuff. There's not another Met that right now that gets me going like Pete did in his rookie season. I like Cody Senga, but he's older. He's already been hurt. I don't know if he's going to be there. You got to look at those things now. I've been burnt so much by these trades and late in the career. DeGrom, and I had a huge DeGrom autograph collection and Thor, and I just that really hurt. I'm still a DeGrom collector, hoping he returns someday. I hope he pitches again someday. Just
seriously.
you know, and there's players on other teams but once I just want their rookie card. So I'll still try to pick up some Skeens rookies from last year. This year I'm really looking forward to going to shows, and my number one for my baseball collecting at shows is gonna be the Bowman Campy. So that's my thing. That's my card that I want this year. And everything else I could put to it. I want to pick up some more Gary Carter autos, playing days autos, but that's everybody knows that. I want to continue doing this. When it comes to this, I want to be I want to get my Saturday show back where I'm more personal, more there's not I don't have another person here. I don't have a side chat where I can where I don't want to be more say controversial, but more I could put my feelings out there a little bit more on how I feel. If I don't like something I see, I'm going to speak on it. Or if I do, I'll speak on it. I like to speak to the good as well as the bad. Not too many people do that. That's a part of our problem in our community right now is we don't speak to the good. We like to shine on the bad. We need to put the light on the good as well as the bad. So, but I don't want to be the voice of reason. I want to be the voice of let's have a conversation on things. That's my thought for this year. I did a little bit of that this past year. Believe me, reason I bring up things is I want to have a conversation. I want you to, like Mike O, help me with why people collect vintage that never saw players play. We had conversations. Joe helped me with why people collect wax boxes full of wax and don't open them. Do I agree 100%? No, but at least the reasons are sound.
Yep.
They're, and I can understand now, have a better understanding of why people do that. Because Lord knows I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot. 90% of the time I'm wrong. I just got to be shown why I'm wrong, and I'll be okay. I'm stupid. And I've spoke to this a lot. Ignorance is not stupidity. A lot of people are ignorant on things. You got to be educated to be non-ignorant. To be ignorant on something doesn't mean that you're stupid. It just means you're not educated on that subject. And this, Lord knows, we find stuff. I even stumped Mangini on a purchase this year at the show.
Oh,
we can all learn from each other. We can all learn, and I've talked about it. This with Garrett and him redoing and selling and restarting over. How I'm kind of jealous because he gets to restart this journey all over again, and the journey's the fun part. The journey is meeting the people, finding what you like. That's like we're dating again. It's like, yeah, we still don't know what we're doing. We're fumbling, but but we're having fun doing it, and that is the whole. That's the fun part of this collecting part. How many times did we were in groups or you saw large groups of people handing out cards at shows? It just everybody just in awe and amazement of what we've seen. And it doesn't matter if it's a card we've seen 100 times. I haven't seen that one yet, right? And then you told me why you bought that. That again, back to the stories. I love it. And I want to be more of doing that this year. I want to be there. I mean, is there anything you're looking? I don't like to do goals. especially in my hobby. I do work goals. I don't do goals on my hobby.
I don't even do work goals.
I have to.
I just go, man. I just do.
Right.
No, but like in terms of hobby goals, I've toyed with that before, and I'm like, you know what? I don't. If I see something and I like it, I'm gonna buy it. That's just how it is. Are there things I have? Do I have lists? Yes, I have lists, and there's things I'd like to get. But I don't say, oh, I'm gonna go here and get this. I know it's just more fun for me that way. It's more spontaneous. If I'm, and again, that's my thing. Other people are like, okay, I'm going to go there and pick up these 3 cards, and that's fine. That's all good, man. I think goals are great. Sometimes I wish I had some like more focus, but how I collect and how I hobby is like what works for me. And yeah, so no, I don't really have goals. I mean, I know one card I want to get a 49 leaf Sammy Baugh. Like that's been on my thing for a long time. I definitely want to get that. So I mean, otherwise, there's you could name 100 cards. I'm like, yeah, I want that one too. But yeah, no, I just want to go have fun. Enjoy the company of everybody else. And like people have said it. You can go on eBay tomorrow or right now. I can go on eBay and buy any freaking card I want. I don't have to go to the National. I don't have to go to a card show. But it's the camaraderie. It's the community of it, getting together and actually, you know, pressing the flesh, talking to people face to face, and hanging out with your buds. That's really it. And in terms of like like you said something good before about understanding, and I think that's where moving in that direction. A couple of things like with semantics, we talk about influencers, and I've said this many times, and I've heard other people say it. I'm not influenced. I'm inspired. I think again, it's what words you choose to use. I think inspiration is awesome, um, because I think it has more of a meaning than influenced. I know influence it to me has a negative connotation, and it's like understanding and agreeing. Like you don't have to agree, but understanding is important. Knowing where they're coming from. Hey, I don't agree with that, but I understand where you're coming from, and I think that goes across obviously not just the hobby. It goes across everything in society. So,
yeah, we have too much of a dichotomy now. If you don't agree with me, you're against me.
Yeah,
they don't have to be that way. We can.
Yeah.
If I don't agree, there's going to be parts I agree and parts that I don't 100% agree.
Absolutely. I mean, it's healthy. Right. Everybody agreed with everything. Imagine like the world would be so boring.
And you won't be out of your bubble unless you listen to other people's opinions.
Exactly.
And be empathetic. You don't have to be sympathetic, empathetic, and listen.
Right.
And you can always have a discussion. Again, I go back to me and Joe at the National. Me and him were upstairs, and we had a group around us talking about. Me and him was talking about wax. We could have been on a stage, is what it felt like. And I did a shout out to Hitman when I had a card with a guy in the front of a batting cage. It was a bench card. I was like, shout out to Hitman. I got a batting cage card. So it's funny. And did you give him a code? Yeah. But me and Joe, we just that day with the wax, it was funny. And the thing was, we didn't talk past each other. We didn't talk down to each other. It was hey, this is why I do this. This is why other people do this. And there was a guy standing there with a case of baseball cards I were listening to. And it's no disrespect. Mike O is one of my best friends in the hobby, outside the hobby. We talk all the time. He collects boxes of cards. I don't 100% agree. He sells a lot of it too to make money. He's also a business guy in this. So, so that's why I look, because he does that. And he's like the rest of us in our community that we're in. Is like we look at ourselves as collectors and not. Don't put me in a category. If you put me in a category, make me an asshole or something. Don't don't put me. If you do, that's fine, because we like to human beings like to, category everything. So
Yeah,
and everybody's got to fit in a category, or it boggles our mind if you're not. Yeah, James. Everybody has an opinion, but they're wrong. Yeah, and that's all I want this year. And I think we're doing better as a community here in the last few months. Actually, I haven't had I haven't felt the tension between groups like we did before. And I feel a lot better. How ironic that Scott is trying to lump us all into collectors. How dare you? Carlos, you're a great you're like Hitman. You have some of the most craziest collection ideas ever, but I love them because they're outside the box.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about them.
I'm borderline.
What's that?
I'm a borderline hoarder.
Yeah, well, I was, and now I kind of this community helped me break that of how I collect, and I'm okay with it. Yeah, so it's really helped me dial in my focus, and I can still but I don't feel like I gotta live in that focus. If I see something I like, I'm gonna get it.
Oh heck yeah, 100%.
Need more Von Hayes cards yet. Hey, I picked up a whole bunch of Hojo cards this past week too. So filling in some Hojos that I didn't have from the 80s and early 90s.
Past Hojo, baby. Hojo.
Howard Johnson, yeah. I love him. Mets cards. Him, Piazza's a Met. There are a couple of guys I just pick up as Mets, but
yeah. Hojo had pretty damn good seasons for the Mets. That guy was a good player.
Yeah. But we're going to end it with that tonight. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Orlando. This has been a great night again. Love the chat and the side chat. Thank you, Hitman 23. If you do not subscribe to Hitman 23, please check him out. He just did a room tour. He's been working on his room. He lets us in on his progress, and also he's got some of the greatest binder stuff that you're ever going to see, and it's great. So I encourage everyone to go check out Hitman 23 if you haven't. And I think if most people on here probably already see Hitman, but if you haven't, please go check him out. And until next time, like, share, tell a friend, and we will see ya.